Hey everybody, wanted to just give you a quick video update on Haley and just the things that have been going on the past month or so. Everybody knows in January she had some scans to determine the effectiveness of her chemotherapy and radiation. And unfortunately, the scan showed that Haley still has some active cancer in her body. And the treatment options for that right now would be immunotherapy, but unfortunately, immunotherapy doesn't do well with Haley. Not only physically, it just makes her really ill, but it's not super effective on the cancer itself. So, without doing treatment, they've given her 6 to 12 months to be able to survive with no treatment. But with that being said, we are pursuing some alternative treatments outside of traditional medicine. We've been doing some things in conjunction with the radiation that she was doing, and now we're supplementing those with additional treatments. We just recently started doing some juicing, and we have some other supplements and been doing some other alternative treatments. Like really what we want to be able to communicate to you guys is that this is not the first time that we've faced this situation. When she was 4 months old and initially diagnosed with a brain tumor, she was basically given less than a year to live. They said she wouldn't see her first birthday, and January 26th she celebrated 22 years on this earth. So we are no strangers to this circumstance. It's not easy, but we're also not fearful of it. I think the biggest fear we have is just Haley being in pain and suffering. But the good news is that as of today, she's doing much better than she was even back at the end of October. She had just a rough couple months after radiation. She was sick, sleeping, lethargic, not talking, not eating, and everything just took a big toll on her body. And I would say probably within the past couple weeks, she's started to get some energy back. Today she's having a great day. She was up early, doing her activities that she does on a normal basis when she's feeling well. Went to speech therapy, was fully engaged in speech therapy today. So I think, Haley herself is doing well. She has good days and bad days. She slept Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But she has some really good days. And, I asked her the other day how she's feeling and if she's feeling better than she was at Christmas time. And she said, yeah, she's feeling better than at Christmas. So we have not spoken to her about everything. She knows the cancer's still there and that we're gonna be as aggressive as we can in treating it, but also aggressive in making sure that she's not in pain. You know, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and we don't want to speak a death sentence over her and her to think that this is the end. We have hope that there's always room for miracles. We've seen tons of them in Haley's life, and that's not an exaggeration. And we know that there's more to come. Haley is such a wonderful person, and we don't think her work here on Earth is done yet. So if you do see her, just love on her. We don't really talk about the 6 to 12 month thing. She just knows that the cancer's there and that we're doing treatments, and she knows that the treatments that we're doing are working. There's a difference in the dynamic between how she treats the people at the hospital who she cared about, but the people who are doing her treatments now, there's a special type of attention she gives them that we know that she feels the difference between radiation, chemotherapy, and associating that with feeling horrible to now doing other treatments to where she maybe doesn't feel great, but she knows she's feeling better. So the prayers we have that we would appreciate you praying with us would be obviously healing and restoration. We want Haley to be able to talk again normally. We want her to be able to sing. We want her to be able to eat normally. Currently, she's still on her feeding tube, so we have to feed her through a feeding tube 2 to 3 times a day. We have to give her all her medicines through the feeding tube, all her juicing supplements through a feeding tube. She can eat like pudding, but she's kind of chosen not to. We don't really know why, but we're also not going to push her. We never know what type of pain she's in. She's very strong. She's very stubborn. So sometimes she's in a lot of pain. She just doesn't communicate it to us. So just be praying for that, for her lymphedema, which is the collection of her lymphatic fluids. That's been an issue because all of the lymph nodes in her neck were removed during the surgery in May. So her body's still trying to learn what to do with those fluids. So she gets a lot of buildup in her face of those fluids, which obviously can cause pain. So we just appreciate your prayers and your support through all of this. And, obviously we can't necessarily to respond to everybody and their comments, but, we see them, we read them, and we appreciate all of them. And we'll just keep you all in the loop and informed of what's going on, and just know that we are hopeful, and we know that we've seen the miracles and we expect the miracles, and hopefully good things will be ahead in the near future, and we'll keep you all informed. All right, thanks.